Hi guys, it's ASBYT and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus versus the OnePlus 7 Pro. Two hugely popular devices this year, right at the top end of their game, but the question is, which is going to be better for you? And that's exactly what we're going to delve into right now. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Right, so firstly, I'm going to touch on design and build quality. So straight away, the Note 10 Plus is marginally taller than the OnePlus 7 Pro. Very, very similar width as well. The main difference in design is the fact that the OnePlus 7 Pro feels much more rounded. The Note 10 Plus feels much boxier. The curves on the Samsung device feel a bit less gradual, a bit harsher. That's not to say it's not comfortable, it's just something to note. I mean, both devices are really well put together. Both feel very premium in the hand. Again, this would probably come down to personal preference. Now, if we look around the two devices, on the top of the Note 10 Plus, we have the SIM card tray, which does support expandable storage, which you don't get on the OnePlus 7 Pro, but we have a pop-up camera on the OnePlus 7 Pro, and of course we have that Infinity O punch hole cutout in the middle of the display on the Note. Let me know whether you prefer a pop-up camera or a punch hole cutout. If we go to the bottom, we have the Type-C charging ports on both, the speaker grill, the SIM card tray on the OnePlus 7 Pro, and of course the S Pen on the Note 10 Plus. Now the OnePlus 7 Pro mixes the buttons across the two side bezels, with the volume rocker on the left and the power button and the alert slider on the right. The Note 10 Plus just has the volume rocker up and down and the power button on one side, nothing on the other, and the power button coexists as a Bixby button. Stereo speakers on both, although the sound quality is a little bit better, I must say, on the Note device. Now, if we jump onto that display, we've already mentioned about the front-facing camera, and that allows the OnePlus 7 Pro to have a fully uninterrupted bezel-less experience. 6.7-inch Quad HD Plus Fluid AMOLED display, 3120 by 1440, and a PPI density of 516. The Note 10 Plus is a 6.8-inch, also Quad HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED display, 3040 by 1440, and a PPI density of 498. HDR10 Plus on both, Gorilla Glass 6 on the Note 10 Plus, only Gorilla Glass 5 on the OnePlus 7 Pro, which was an interesting omission considering the standard OnePlus 7 did come with Gorilla Glass 6. And one key area for a lot of people is the refresh rate on the two displays. We have a 90 Hz refresh rate on the OnePlus 7 Pro, which makes it as smooth as you like. Not quite as good as the Asus ROG Phone 2, which has a 120 Hz AMOLED display, but it is better than the Note 10 Plus, which only has a 60 Hz refresh rate. Now, both are incredible displays. You're not going to be disappointed with either. Both panels are actually made by Samsung themselves. They're certainly both right at the top of the industry right now. There is also the in-display fingerprint scanner on both, 3D Qualcomm variety, which means it is ultra secure on the Note 10 Plus. Now, if we jump onto storage, we've got 256GB on the OnePlus 7 Pro, storage of 512GB on the Note 10 Plus, 12GB of RAM on the Note, which is the same as on the OnePlus 7 Pro. Overkill? Probably. Still, crack those specs in there if you can. The OnePlus 7 Pro has a battery capacity of 4000 mAh. The Note 10 Plus has a capacity of 4300. Wireless charging on the Note, reverse wireless charging on the Note, none of the above on the OnePlus 7 Pro. As a result, both are going to be pretty decent, but based on those specs alone, the refresh rates, the size of the displays, the operating systems, which we'll get to, I would imagine you're going to get better battery life on the Samsung device. But if you want to see a full accurate test, let me know in the comments and I will try and do that for you. Also on battery, we have 30 watts warp charge on the OnePlus 7 Pro, and we have 45 watts fast charging on the Samsung device. IP68 water and dust resistant on the Note. Now, OnePlus have stated they didn't go for an IP rating due to cost to keep the price down, and I have done brief testing on the device and I haven't had any problems with water damage. But if water is a big part of your life, it's a big part of everyone's life, you will die without it, but if you're surrounded by water a lot, your safer bet would be the Note. Now, software is a tough one. I actually really like both skins that are over the top of Android 9 Pie. The OnePlus 7 Pro uses Oxygen OS, which is probably just about my favorite operating system on a smartphone. Samsung's One UI is also a very, very good bit of software though as well, much improved from their offering in recent years. There'll be features on one over the other that you will prefer, and I definitely recommend trying both before making a decision. If updates are a strong thing, I would probably edge you in the path of the OnePlus 7 Pro, because if history is anything to go by, there will be the brand new update within a very short amount of time from when Android Q is released, whereas Samsung devices generally take around 6 months to start the ball rolling with their update rollout. We've got the Snapdragon 855 on the OnePlus 7 Pro, also the Snapdragon 855 on the Note. Of course, that's not the only SoC that the Note will come in. It is split into regions. Some will get the Qualcomm Snapdragon, some will get the Exynos 9825, which is an upgrade from the 9820 which we saw on the S line. Single core scores doing really well, multi-core scores not quite faring as well as the Snapdragon variety in early testing. Now we jump onto camera. And on the OnePlus 7 Pro, we have a 48 megapixel primary sensor with f1.6 aperture, a 16 megapixel wide angle lens with f2.2 aperture, and an 8 megapixel telephoto lens with f2.4 aperture. We have the much talked about pop-up front camera. It's a 16 megapixel sensor with f2.0 aperture. Now if we jump to the Note, we have a 12 megapixel primary sensor with dual aperture, f1.5 to f2.4. We've got a 12 megapixel telephoto lens with f2.2 aperture and a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle lens with f2.2 aperture as well. Now you might be thinking, I've heard there's a fourth lens, and you would be right. We have a time of flight lens as well, which is a depth sensing lens, good for portraits, bokeh shots, etc. Our front camera in that punch hole cutout is a 10 megapixel lens. On the OnePlus 7 Pro, we have max video recording of 4K at 60 frames per second on the rear camera, and 1080p max on the front-facing camera. Now if we jump to the Note, video recording max 4K at 60 frames a second on the rear, front camera 4K at 30. Still pretty much industry leading in that front-facing camera department for video. And a few extra features as well. Live focus video and a mode where you can kind of add animations that track your subject when you're creating a video. The implementation doesn't seem to be that great currently, because I think the end product could be so much better. Now I'm going to jump onto one of the famous features that Note devices have. I generally do love using the S Pen, the ability to take photos, can create notes, etc. with that S Pen. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the two devices. Which is your favorite? Which are you going to go for, or are you going to go with neither? Does the Note device offer enough extra than the OnePlus 7 Pro in order to justify that bump up in price? Let me know in the comments. As always, I love to hear your thoughts. Like and share if you did enjoy this video and found it helpful. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you love everything tech, breaking news, unboxings, reviews. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. TSBYT, peace out.